Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to create a complete WordPress website from scratch without even having to write any code. And the reason that I want to do this is because I wanted something practical to show you guys how to build things really fast for your clients. And this is the type of work that I started with when I was freelancing. So this is geared more towards the beginner type of developer that is freelancing, that's building websites for their own clients. Now, WordPress is great because it allows you to have your clients update their own content, so they can just log in and create a blog post or whatever. They don't have to bother you with it. Now, when we build this website, I'm going to be using Photoshop a little bit because I want to do everything kind of how I would normally. And we're going to create like this simple logo and this logo here, and just add our own images, background images and stuff. And if you don't have Photoshop or you don't want to do that part of it, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to include the images in the description, so you can just grab them and upload them. You don't have to create them along with me. All right, so we are using a pre-made theme, and if you do use a pre-made theme with your clients, I would highly suggest telling them that and not passing it off as your own design. I think it's highly unethical to do that. What I used to do is just give them a choice. Say, you know, if you want me to create a custom design, create the HTML, create the WordPress theme, it's going to be about 4 times as expensive, and it's going to take twice as long. And most of the time, they would choose the pre-made theme because there's a very slim chance that anyone is going to notice that it's a pre-made theme. So what we'll build is this digital marketing company website. I called it Market One, labeled it after the theme name, which is called Parallax One, and it's a free theme, obviously. And we're going to create a couple pages, which I'll go into. We have this main area here, which has kind of a parallax effect, and it's a little logo here. We have some social icons, so if we hover over these, they'll change color. Some marketing services with some font awesome icons, and this is all built into the theme. We can actually go into the customizer and edit these if we want. The about section, our team, so if we hover over these, we'll see their names and positions. Testimonials. We have this little area right here, and then we have some of our posts. Well, actually, there's only one post, but it shows down at the bottom, and we could scroll through them if we had more than one, and some contact info. So that's the basic home page. Now, the About Us and Services page are very, very simple. I mean, if you guys want to add images and stuff, you can do that. We have the sidebar. You can obviously disable some of these widgets if you want. Same thing with services, very simple. And then the blog page, which is pretty nice. It has this little date overlay. It has the featured image. If we click on it, it takes us to the post where we can have comments and stuff. And then we also have a contact page that uses pirate forms, which is actually recommended with this theme. And this will be a working contact form. And then once we're done building this, we're going to actually deploy it to, and I've already done it, so we're going to go, it's going to be codedemos.com. And you can see that we have it deployed and all the pages work. Okay, we can go into the back end. Oops, figured it would autocomplete. So here's our dashboard, and this is a live site. Now for deployment, we're going simple. We're just going to use FTP with a cPanel shared hosting account. I'm not going to go into any special plugins or any special WordPress cloud hosting or anything like that. This is geared towards beginners, so we're going to stick to the basics. We are going to, however, export our SQL and import it through cPanel, stuff like that. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to at the end. If you just want to do the site and that's it, that's fine too. All right, so let's get started, guys. Hopefully you enjoy this little video here, this project, and let's do it. All right, guys, so now we're going to set up our local WordPress installation. Now, there's a few ways you can do this. If you know about WordPress, you know it needs PHP to run, it needs MySQL, and there's different software suites you can use locally like XAMPP WAMP, MAMP, basically any of the AMP stacks. But what we're going to use is this desktop server from serverpress.com, and it's basically XAMPP. They actually call it XAMPP Lite. And then it has this program that runs on top of it called Desktop Server, where you can easily create WordPress installations through a graphical user interface. It's kind of like those one-click installs that come with certain hosting packages, and it'll make it so that you can easily remove or move your WordPress installations. You can create it without having to manually create the database. It'll map a local domain. It's actually really cool, and it's really easy to use. So if you go to serverpress.com and then download, and by the way, you don't have to use this. If you want to use something else, that's fine. This is just what I recommend. And there is a premium version. We'll obviously be using the free version. I would never do a video where you guys would have to buy something to follow along. But with the premium version, what I think is really cool is that you can direct deploy to your live server. Okay, you can't do that with the free one. You'll have to do it manually or through some other method. But we're going to go ahead and download the free version. So down here, you just have to put in your name and email and agree, and then free download. And then this should take us to a page where we can choose our download package. All right, so I'm on Mac, so I would download the latest version here. I wouldn't suggest getting the release candidate. I'd get the latest version, whether you're on Mac or Windows. I already have it installed, so I'm not going to download and install it. It's basically just going through and clicking next, so it's nothing that you really need to see me do. All right, now once you have it installed, you can, if you're on Windows, it should be in your C drive. I think it's in your C drive in your XAMPP folder, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it might be in your program files. But if you could just search for it. But if you're on a Mac, it's going to be in your applications folder and then in the XAMPP folder. So you actually get an XAMPP folder, and you have the control panel, you have the HT docs. It's basically XAMPP Lite, and you have this desktop server program. That's what we want. That's what we want to run. So let's open that up. Since it's on a Mac, it's going to ask to restart with privileges, and then we just got to put our password in. Okay, so from here, it's going to ask if we want to create a new development website. Okay, so we can also stop or restart services. We can remove or copy existing websites. There's also this sites button here. If I click it, it's going to open up this page here where basically it has a list of all of our websites, and you'll see I have my development one here, and I can visit the website, the dashboard, or the database itself. Okay, so it's a pretty cool interface. So we're going to say create new development website and click next, and then you want to name it. Okay, it'll actually map a local domain, so I'm just going to call this www.market1, and it's going to be .dev.cc. And this doesn't even have to be WordPress. You could do a custom PHP blank application if you wanted. And then the site root is actually going to be in your documents folder in websites, and then in the domain name. Or you could change it if you want, which is really cool because you don't have to actually have it in your HT docs folder. So let's click create. It's going to create the source folder. It's going to map the virtual host and server name. It's going to create the database, so we don't have to go into phpMyAdmin and create the database or into the shell or anything like that. And it's done. So let's click next. And now it shows us our admin URL. If I click next, I think, yeah. So if I click next, it's going to go back to the start screen. What I'm going to do is just close this. And then I'm going to go to I could have clicked on that link, but I'm just going to go to, not Udemy, obviously. Well, what did I call it? Market1. Market1.dev.cc, and it's going to automatically take us to the admin because we need to finish up the install. So let's click continue. Let's give it a site title. We'll say Market1, username, admin, password. I'm just going to do 1 through 6. I don't care if it's a weak password. And I'll just put an email in here and install WordPress. All right, so now it should be all set. WordPress is set up on your local machine on this domain or whatever domain you used. So if we click login, it'll take us to our back end. We can log in. And there we go. So this is our back end. If we want to look at the front end, we can go to visit site. And there it is. So it's that easy. There's no manually creating databases, downloading WordPress from the website and uploading the files or bringing the files over or anything like that. So I would highly recommend Desktop Server. And again, I have no affiliation with the company. It's just, I think it's really cool. So now what we want to do is we want to implement our theme. That's the first thing I want to do, because right now we're using the default WordPress theme. So what I did to actually find this theme, I just searched for free WordPress themes, and I went to this post, where is it, 65 best free responsive themes, and then I just looked through them, and where is it? I saw right here, Parallax 1. So this is the theme we want. So what we want to do is download it. So we'll say download now for free. You're going to have to put in an email. It doesn't even have to be valid. And you'll be able to download it. So I'll go ahead and save it. And let's go ahead and show that in the Finder. And it's a zip file, so I'm just going to double click to unzip it. And there's our theme. So these are all the theme files. So what we want to do to install this is we're going to take the Parallax 1 folder, and then I'm going to go into my website, which is in Documents, Websites, and you'll see right here, Market 1 Dev CC. I'm going to go into that, go into WP Content, Themes, and I'm going to bring over that Parallax 1 theme. Okay, now what I'll do is go back to my back end in WordPress and go to Appearance Themes, and you should see the theme right here. So we're going to go ahead and activate it. All right, now right here you're going to see this theme recommends the following plugins: Intergeo Maps and Pirate Forms. So it'll actually give us the option to install these. So we'll say begin installing plugins. I'm going to check both. Choose install and apply. And you might get these warnings, but it's not going to matter. It's not going to do anything. So right here, all installations have been completed. Let's return to the plugin installer. Now we just want to activate them. So again, we'll choose them and we'll go activate, apply. And there we go. So now we should have those plugins activated. Now let's go back to Appearance Themes. And let's see. All right, so this is already activated. So let's go back to our front end and reload. And now we have basically the default theme. All right, and we just have our one sample page. This just comes with WordPress, but obviously we're going to create our own pages and so on, our own menu. So let's start to customize this theme, and this theme actually makes it really easy. As with most good themes, they have good customization panels. So if we click on Customize, we have all these different sections that we can edit. All right, so let's start off with let's go to, let's see, what did I want to do? And there is a pro version that enables a couple extra things. But if we go to headers and we go to, let's see, I want the logo, appearance, appearance, general options, and this is where you can actually upload a new logo, which you're going to want to do. Your clients are going to want you to upload their logo. So what I'm going to do is open up Photoshop. Let me just fit this to my screen. And you'll see I actually already have like that logo here and some of the other stuff, because I've already done this. Obviously, I'm not just doing it right off the top of my head. But what I would do, and I'm going by what I would do in a real situation if I were to really put this together. So I would copy this, or grab this image rather, not copy it, but grab it. So I'll say open a new tab. Whoops, not open a new tab. Open image in new tab. and we want to grab this image, so I'll save it because we want it to be the same exact size. So we'll save that, and then let's go back to the Finder and go to Downloads and open that logo. Now you don't have to do this, especially if you don't have Photoshop. Whoops, I wanted to open that in Photoshop. If you don't have Photoshop, you can simply grab the files in the description, but I'm just showing you what I would do. So I'm just going to choose the text tool, and we're going to say Market 1, and this is a huge font. I'm going to change this. So let's see, let's change it to 24, maybe a little bigger, 30. And actually, let's make it 24 because I want it to be all caps. So Market 1. And then I want it to be the same colors, so I can actually zoom in here. Oops, let me just fix this real quick. Whatever, that's fine. So I'll just zoom in, and I want that blue right there, so I'm going to click the eyedropper tool, which is right here. Grab that blue, and then what I'll do is I'm going to highlight Market, and I'm going to click on this color here and just dab that blue. And by the way, this came up off the screen, so I'm just going to click OK, and now we have that blue for the word Market. Now I want the parallax one to go away, so I'll hide that layer, and then I'm just going to move Market 1 down into the middle, actually a little further up, because I want to put a little black line under the word 1. So I'm going to actually grab the square tool, and let's change this color from blue to black. I'll actually just use the eyedropper here, and then let's just do kind of a line under it, and then we'll just rasterize the layer, and we can click this tool right here, and we can move it around with our arrows. So we'll go like that. All right, and I think that's good. If we choose both layers over here, we can move both layers around. So we'll make sure that's in the middle. Let's see. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so now that's going to be our logo. So I'm going to go ahead and save this as. And what I'll do is put, let's see. I'll just put it in, let's save it as logo. But we want to save it as a PNG, not as a PSD. Okay, so we're going to choose PNG and save. Click OK, and now we should have that logo. All right, so now let's go back to our WordPress site, and let's choose Change Image. Okay, remember we're in Customization, Appearance, General Options, Change Image. We're going to upload the image. I'm going to click Select Files, and we'll grab that logo PNG. All right, and let's click Choose Image, and there we go. So it shows us what it looks like right here. Now it's not going to be on our front end yet until we hit Publish. So let's go ahead and hit Publish, and then we'll go back to our actual site and reload, and now we have our logo. Okay, so it's as simple as that. So we'll go back now. Colors, you could change the colors up if you want. For instance, if the company you're building this for has certain branding colors, you're probably going to want to choose, you're going to select those, but we're going to leave that, and now we're going to go to background image. So for the background image, actually, you know what? We're going to keep this. This isn't the background image I want. I think that's for the entire thing. What we want, I'm going to go back. I'm going to click the X. Whoops, I didn't want to go out here. I want to go back here and then go to the header section. Okay, this is the background I want to change. But first, let's go to Content. And you see how we have this little image here? We can change that as well. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that image, say Open Image in New Tab, and I'm going to save this. logo 2. We'll save it as logo 2. And then let's open that with Photoshop. Okay, so we can't really see this, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the square tool, and I have the black color selected right here, so I'm just going to kind of go like that and rasterize it and then move the layer under the logo. And then what I'll do is take that square tool again, and I want to keep that border, but I'm just going to cover this, whatever this is. So we'll rasterize that, and then we have to move that over the logo itself. Okay, so now we just have blank black. And then what I'll do is put the text tool, and I'm just going to put an uppercase M. It's black right now, so we can't see it, so I'll change it with this up here to white. And then let's increase the font size. Let's see, 72. And then we'll go ahead and move that in the middle. Like that. Good enough. Okay, now we don't want the black background, so I'm going to get rid of that. And actually, you know what I should have done is not put a black background over that, whatever that is, that upside down V thing. I should have just deleted it. So I'm going to get rid of that I did. I'm going to hide the M for a second, and you can see that the original. I'm just going to go ahead and take this tool, this selection tool, make sure I don't get the borders, just that logo there, and delete. All right, then I'll put my M back, and then we should be all set. So we'll go ahead and save this, and we'll save it as a PNG. I'll save it as logo 2. Replace. Okay. And now we should be able to upload that. So let's go back to our site, our back end here, and let's go change image, upload files, and we'll select that new logo 2. Okay, we'll say choose image, and there it is. All right, so now we can edit the actual text if we want. So let's change this to digital marketing company, and then we have some subtext here we can edit. I'm just going to say for small business websites and mobile apps, and then instead of get started we'll say find out more, just to kind of differentiate from the original theme. And then the button, let's have that go to our domain, and then /about, which we haven't created yet, but that's where I want it to go. All right, so now we'll go ahead and publish. And I do want to change, we will change the background, but let's check that out first. So I'll reload, and there we go. Okay, so now let's hit the back, and logos bar, we're going to do that after. That's this down here. We actually want these to be social icons. For the background, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to pexels.com, P-E-X-E-L-S, not pixels, pexels, and I'm going to search for marketing. And I think I chose this image right here. So I'm going to download the 1920 by 1280. Go ahead and save that. And then we'll go back over here and let's say add new image, and we're going to grab that pexels image, and let's select and crop, and you can move this where you want. That's good. Crop image, and there we go. Now what I want to do is I don't want this to be like a dark, and it's cool that it gives you the overlay by default. You don't have to actually manually add that to the image. You don't have to edit the CSS yourself. It just does it. But what I'm going to do is change the color. So I'm going to click this right here, select color, and I'm going to choose the blue, and then it should change. Might take a second. It should change. There we go. All right. Yeah, that looks good. Well, let's make it a little darker. Yeah. All right. So we'll do that. I actually think it's a different image than I had in my original, but that's fine. That works. Anything that has to do with like marketing and analytics. And if you guys want to choose a different image from Pexels, there's tons of them. This site is awesome. So that looks good to me. I'm going to click publish now, and we'll make sure it updated here. All right, so that looks good. And we'll go back. Let's click this little arrow. And now for the logos bar. So for this, we can upload different icons or images for each of these. Okay, so what I'm going to do, or what I did, is I just searched for blue social icons. And it was this right here that I chose, this image. It's a transparent PNG, so what I did is I cut each one out and I used that. It's nice if you can find a site where you can, I mean, you probably could just go to like Icon Finder, but I don't know, I just did this. So what I'm going to do is grab this whole image. And again, all the icons are cut out and saved in the description if you don't want to do this yourself in Photoshop. So let's see. We'll go to our Finder and open with Photoshop. And then what I did is just grab this selection tool and just kind of went over one of these like that. Move this up a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and copy, so Control C or Command C, whatever, and I say new, file new. You guys can't see it, it's off screen, but I just went to file new and create, and then it's going to give us that size, and then I'll Control V or Command V to paste it in. All right, so now we have our logo. We want to make sure we get rid of the background, the white, and then I'm going to save this. So I'm going to say File, Save As, and let's save this as Facebook, and we're going to choose PNG. Okay, so now we'll go back to the, whoops, we can actually close this out. Actually, yeah, we'll close that out. What am I doing? Clicking the wrong damn thing. So I'm not going to save that. We'll close this one out. I just want the icons. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this. Actually, I don't want that. I want the Twitter bird. So Control D or Command D to unselect or deselect. And then we'll grab this. Just make sure you have the whole icon, and then Control C. I have my Mac actually, I have it programmed to use Control instead of Command, just because I was a Windows user for so long. And I'm going to paste that in. I'll hide the Facebook layer, and then I'm going to save this as Twitter. Let's save it as Twitter PNG. Okay, so next thing we'll grab is, let's grab YouTube. So copy that, paste it in. And I know I didn't have to do this part, but I just want to kind of go through the entire thing with you guys, the whole steps. So I'm going to save this as youtube.png. Okay, we also want LinkedIn. Save that as a PNG or ping. And then finally, let's grab the Google+. Okay, let's save it as Google. Okay, so now we have all of our logos or icons, whatever you want to call them. So now we'll go back. I can close this up. We can close that. And let's go back to the customizer. And the first one I want is the Facebook. So I'm going to click Upload Image, go to Upload Files, select, and then I'm just going to grab all of the icons to upload, at least upload them to WordPress. So we'll click open, and that should upload all of them. All right, but we only want to select the Facebook one. So we'll keep that, and then we'll say insert into post. And it should show up here, no? Hold on, upload image, Facebook. Oh, did I not? Insert into post. There it is. Now it's going to be gray, but when we hover over it, we get the blue color. So that's the effect that we want. And for the link, we would say http facebook.com, and then you would do / whatever your client's Facebook page is. Okay, next one we're going to do Twitter. So it should actually be HTTPS, but that's fine. All right, so the next one is going to be LinkedIn. Okay, so next we'll have YouTube. And lastly, we will have Google+, which I don't know who uses. All right, so that looks pretty good. Let's click publish, and let's take a look at our site. Let's reload, and there we go. All right, so next we're going to move down to the services. So if we go, and there should be a back button. Why do it keeps taking me back here? I'll click customize again, and let's go to services section. And from here, let's just change it to marketing services. Okay, and we'll change this dummy text here, and we'll say these are our main services that we offer, or whatever you want to put. All right, and then for each of these boxes here, we have these selections, these options. And what's really cool is we can use an icon here. First of all, I'm going to change this to SEO. And we have it's using Font Awesome icons, but you'll notice if I just click in here, we can actually choose an icon from here. So this is kind of cool. So I'm going to search for search because I want the magnifying glass thing here for SEO. And let's go to the next one. So the next one is going to be email marketing. And I'm just going to leave the dummy text. I mean, if you guys really want, you can change that, but I'm going to leave that. For email marketing, I'm going to search for envelope. Grab that icon. And then for the last one here, for the last one, let's change this to pay per click. And then for the icon, I'm going to search for money and grab that. And there we go. So that's done. So we'll click on, let's click publish, and good. So that takes care of the services. This part here, this is actually the about section. So I'm going to change our story to about market 1. And I'm just going to leave the dummy text there. We'll change the image. Let's say your client gave you an image. So what I'll do is go back to Pexels, which is always my go-to site for high quality images. And we'll search for business group. And it was this one right here. I'm going to grab the small version, download that. So now that we have that, I want to take this image. So I'll save that, about us, and we'll go and open the about us. All right. I'm also going to open the Pexels photo. And what I'll do is just copy. So I'll select and Control C or Command C, go back here, paste it in, and then do Control T or Command T, hold Shift, and just kind of resize it like that. And then Control D to deselect. We'll go and click this tool here, and we'll just move this up. Well, we'll just, actually, you know what? Hold on. That's fine, I guess. We'll just leave it like that. So let's go ahead and, actually, they're kind of low. I'm actually just going to I'm going to step backward. I think I cut it off somehow. You know what? Let me just. All right, so we're just going to start over here. I don't know what the hell happened there. So I'm going to just copy this whole thing, paste it in, Control T to resize. We'll go like that, and then we should be able to bring it up like that. All right. You know what it is most of my Photoshop editing I've done on Windows, and the keys are a little different, so it's kind of screwing me up a little bit. But that should be good. So let's go ahead and we'll save this as About Us PNG, replace it, and then let's go back here and we'll change the image, upload the file, which is, let's see, About Us, and we're going to choose that image. And there we go. So now we have a different image. So now for the team, let's go back. Actually, let's click Publish first and go back. And let's go to the team section. And let's see, our team will change. I guess we'll change this here. We'll just say Meet the Market One team. And then each person here gets an image, a name, and a subtitle or a position. And you can do social icons and a link if you want. So again, I'm going to go to Pexels, and I'm just going to search for person, not Perdson. And let's see, we'll grab this dude here. So we want to get the small. So we'll save him. Let's grab this girl here. And we'll grab this girl here. All right, so now we have 3 people. And then we're going to go back to the template here, and I want to grab this image. Now it has this overlay, so if I try to like right click or command click, whatever, control click, I can't save the image, or I can't like view the image. So I'm going to inspect with my Chrome tools, and in this div, not in that div, where the hell is it? Let's see. Yeah, right here. So here's the actual image. So I'm going to go ahead and choose open a new tab. So we're going to grab the image, save as, and it's just called 1, I guess. So we'll save that. And then we want to open that in Photoshop, or just grab it from the files, whatever you want to do. Actually, this particular guy, this image won't be in the file. The 3 we downloaded will be. But I'm going to now open up one of the images that I just downloaded. So this girl here, but I want to open it in Photoshop. And then what we'll do is we will copy paste her in, Control T, and then just resize. And let's move her over. Okay, so that's one. I'm just going to use this the same image here to bring in all of them. I'm going to close these other tabs up because they're just going to confuse you guys. Okay, so now let's grab the other two people. I keep doing that. I got to make Photoshop the default for this machine. So again, we'll just select. Just doing kind of a weird thing here, but that's fine. She's the company kook. So we'll move her to the middle here. And let's grab the last one, the dude. Again, I keep doing that. The reason I keep doing that is because usually I have it set to Photoshop to open by default, which I probably should do, but I just am lazy, I guess. So we'll go ahead and grab him. Control T, Command T, whatever. And we'll move him over to the middle. And now we have our three people, we have our three layers. We need to save each one as a separate image. So let's go ahead and say File, Save As, and we'll save this as person1 PNG. Alright, now I'm going to hide his layer, save her as person2 PNG, hide that layer, and then save this one as person3.png. And these will be the files that you guys can get in the description. Alright, so now that we did that, let's go back and let's go ahead and upload image, upload files, and we'll just grab all of them. So person 1, 2, and 3. Alright, but we only want to select one, and we'll select person 1. Okay. Albert Jacobs, I guess we'll just keep that name, and we'll keep the position. And then let's go to the next one. So obviously you would be replacing this with pictures of your client's team. You wouldn't be searching for images, random people. Let's go ahead and upload the second one. All right, is that Tanya Garcia? We'll just leave that, I guess. And then the last one here. Let's upload her. And Linda, we'll keep that as well. And you can see the name and the position will show when you hover over each one. So that looks good. Let's click publish. And we'll go back. Let's check our site. Let's reload. And all those changes should be made. Okay, so our services, our about, our team. Good. Now for the testimonial section, I'm just going to I'll change the heading from happy customers. Why can't I select this? I'll change the heading from happy customers to testimonials, and we'll change this right here. What is going on? Why can I not select this? So we'll change this to this is what our clients had to say. And I'm not going to, I mean, you could go ahead and change like the images and stuff, but it's just going to get repetitive. It's the same stuff we've been doing. But if you really wanted to, you could go and change the names and images and stuff. Obviously, this would be your real clients' testimonials. Okay, so let's publish that. And we'll go back. Let's see what else we have. So this area right here, this is the ribbon section. So I'm going to... Actually, this image makes sense. This is like a analytics type of image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say you found us on Google, right? And then we can actually put HTML in here, so I can put a line break, and then let's put in some small tags. All right, and then in here, let's say Google ranks us as one of the top 10 SEO companies around. Okay. And get started, I guess we could have that go to our domain and then /services, which we'll create. All right, let's publish. And let's go back. So this will be our posts, our WordPress posts. We want to leave that. This section here, let's edit that. So that would be the contact section. So I'll just change this to like sales. We'll say sales at market1.test. I'm sure there is a market1.com, so I'm not going to use that. And then this one here, company address, we'll just say 555 Main Street, Boston, Mass. And then for the phone, I don't know, we'll just do like 617, which is Boston's area code, and all fives. Okay, so publish. And let's see, we want to change this right here, the name of the theme, which is, where is that? Footer options. And we'll just change that to, we'll say Market 1 2018. All right, so that is our home page. Okay, make sure everything's published. And you can see how easy that was to do. And it looks pretty good. It's a decent looking theme. It's not, I mean, it's not the best, but it's clean. You know, it's a clean theme. So now what we want to do is we want to create the other pages. So we're going to now exit the theme editor, customizer, whatever that is. And let's actually add a post, because all we have is a hello world. So if we wanted to add a new post, close that up. And let's just say this is the first post, so we'll say Market 1 website is live, yay. And then we'll just put some sample text in here. So I'm going to go to Lorem, or what is it, Lipsum. I think it's lipsum.com, yeah. And we can just generate some dummy text. If I click this button here, and then we'll just grab like 3 paragraphs, and we'll put that in our post. And we could also do an image. So what I'm going to do is go back to logo 2. Yeah, logo 2. And then I'm going to put just a black background like that. We'll rasterize it, and then we'll bring it under that logo like that. And I'm going to use this as my image, but I want it bigger. So you guys can't see my taskbar, but I'm going to go to image size, and we're going to change this to 200 pixels. Now notice the M is like out of focus, it's all blurry. Let's see, but we want the border. So what I will do is just again have the square tool. I'll just cover this M. So we'll rasterize this, and then we'll move that above the M, and then we'll just take the text tool and we'll put a brand new M in there. We'll make it white, and let's make it a lot bigger. So I'll change the font to, I don't know, let's try like 150 or maybe 170. There we go. And we'll just kind of put that in the middle. I'm just doing this very quick, guys. And then we'll save it. Let's save it as logo-large PNG. All right, now let's go back to our post and let's use this as the featured image. So I'm going to say set featured image, upload files, grab that M, and set that as the featured image. And as for categories, I'll add a new category called news, and we'll use that. Tags, we could say market 1, I don't know, press release, something like that. Doesn't really matter. And that should be good. So we'll publish. Okay, let's go back to our posts and let's delete the hello world. Put that in the trash. And then if we go back to our site and we go down, there's our post. If I click on it, it takes us to the actual page. If I wasn't logged in as admin, I'd have to put like my email address and stuff like that here. But I can just leave a comment. We'll say great post comment, and there we go. All right, so next thing we want to do is create our pages. So in pages, we're going to say, let's actually just trash the sample page. We'll say add new, about us, and or let's just do about. No, we'll do about us, but I want to change. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I need to change the permalink in the section in the settings in a second. I'll show you that in a minute. But let's just grab some sample text for this and paste it in. And then over here, I don't think we need to change anything. We want to use the default template. Depending on which theme you use, you'll have different options here. For instance, the contact and blog, they have their own page, full width if you don't want the sidebar, things like that. And some themes will have a ton of these different templates. But let's go ahead and publish that. And then I'm going to actually edit the URL to just be about. Okay, so we'll change that, and I think we have to click update, I'm not sure. And then let's go to settings and then go to permalinks, because right now we have our posts, they have the date and stuff. I mean, that was a page, but I want our post just to have the post name. So let's choose that and click save changes. All right, and then we'll go back to pages and let's click add new. And let's do services. And I'll just paste that text in, except I'm just going to add some headings here like SEO. And obviously you could make this look better. You could put in some images in here and make lists and stuff like that, but you guys know how to do that. I'm going to make these H3s. And that should be good. Let's publish. All right, now if we go back and reload, you can see that we have our pages up here. But let's go to appearance and then menus. All right, because by default, any page we create is going to be in that menu, and we don't want that. We want to create a custom menu. So right here, I'm going to say primary menu and create. And then we want to choose, for menu settings, we want to choose there's two locations in this theme, footer and primary. We want to choose primary. Okay, and then we can choose the pages we want. We want services and about us, so we'll add those to the menu. I'm actually going to switch the positions though. We also want a home link, so I'm going to go to custom links. The link text will be home, and then I'm just going to use the domain here as the link, like that. And we'll move that to the top. Let's save the menu, and then let's go back and reload. And now we have our home page, we have our about, and our services. Awesome. So next thing we want is the blog. Okay, we want any post we create, we want a page that lists all those posts. So to do that, we want to create a page. So let's go to pages. And let's add a new page call it blog, and with this theme what we can do is just choose the blog template. We don't even have to put anything in here, and publish. Okay, now let's go back to our menu, so appearance, menus, and let's add the blog to the menu. Okay, and we'll save, and then if we go back and reload, now we have blog. If we click on that, you're going to see all your posts, and they look pretty nice actually. I like the way the date looks and stuff. Okay, so last page we want to add, or last menu item, is the contact. So with this we're using Pirate Forms. So if we go to Pirate Forms down here, you'll see that we can actually put this shortcode in to put our form in. And if we go to field settings, we can have name, address, and stuff. We can choose not to display some of this. You could do an attachment. You could add a spam trap if you wanted to enable Google reCAPTCHA, but I believe you'll have to get an API key and stuff like that. And if you want to do that, that's fine, but I'm not going to do that in this video. But that's, you can change the labels of the form as well. So you can customize it. You can customize your alert messages and all that stuff. I'm just going to keep all the defaults. Okay, and then I'm just going to take this short code right here. It's just brackets with Pirate Forms. And then we're going to go to Pages, add a new page. We'll say contact, or contact us. Put in that short code. We don't want to do that. We want to type it. So Pirate Forms. Okay, and over here under template, we're going to choose contact because we don't want any sidebars or anything like that. So let's click publish. We have to add it to our menu, so we'll go back to menus, contact us, add to menu, and save. And then we'll go back and reload. And then we have our contact us. If I click that, there's our form. All right, so that's it. Our website is complete. Now, as far as deployment to the internet, you have a lot of options. Like I said, with this desktop server, if you have the premium version, you basically can automate it. What I'm going to do is just do a very simple FTP to cPanel server. Okay, now you're going to have to export your database manually and import it. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. Now, if you're using desktop server or XAMPP or MAMP or anything, then you should have phpMyAdmin installed. So if we go to localhost/phpMyAdmin, and if you look over here, it should be this right here, market1db. This is our database. So it should relate to whatever you called the site. So what we're going to do is click on that, and we're going to click export. Okay, I'm going to try to do this quick. We want to choose quick, and let's click go. And we're going to download an SQL file. Okay, so it's going to be called this.sql. So we'll save that. And now we have basically a dump file, an SQL dump of our database. Now I have a hosting account with InMotion Hosting, which I highly recommend. InMotionHosting.com, and I have an affiliate link in the description, so if you guys are interested, they actually have specialized WordPress hosting as well. I actually have a VPS, so I have an account with the domain codedemos.com. So if I go to codedemos.com, and it's going to show a listing of subfolders. I really don't care if you guys, this is just for testing and stuff like that. Most of the stuff like DJ Outlet, that was a video I did. Katana Site, that's a static site generator video I did. But I want to put it in the root of code demos. So I'm going to go to my cPanel. And let's see, let's log in. Okay, now we're going to need a database on our remote host, and then we're going to import that SQL file into it. So we can easily create a database by going to, we could do it manually, but let's do it the database wizard in cPanel. Makes it really easy. So we'll call this market 1. It's going to be code demos or whatever your username is, underscore, and then whatever you name it. So the user, I'm just going to say code demos underscore Brad, password I'm going to delete this after anyways. Must be at least 20. Oh, I need a stronger password. All right, let's do ABC123 exclamation. Does that work? Okay, so we'll create the user, and we want to choose all privileges. Next step. All right, so user Brad was added to market 1. So we have that user, and it's added to that database. Okay, so now let's go back to cPanel and let's go to phpMyAdmin on the remote side. So this is now going to be our server. Okay, this is we're no longer on our local machine. So if we look at code demos underscore market 1, it's empty. So what I'm going to do is import, and I'm going to go to choose file, and I'm going to choose that SQL file. So this right here, and we're going to import. We're going to click go. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Nope, that was really quick. And you can see all of our WordPress tables over here. All right, so now what we need to do is actually upload our site, and we're going to use FTP for that. So for the host, I'm going to say codedemos.com. Obviously you'll use your own info for your own hosting, and username codedemos at codedemos.com. Whoops. Password. Connect. All right, so I'm going to go to my public HTML, which is my front-facing folder here, and this is where I want to put all my files. Now, before I do that, I'm going to go to my documents, websites, and let's go to our Market 1 site, and we want to edit something here. We want to edit the config file. So I'm going to open that up. I'll use VS Code. And we're going to want to go down and change the database parameters, because right now it's set to our local database stuff. So we want to change it to the remote. All right, so let's go back to Chrome, and what did I call it? What was it? It's code demos underscore market 1. Yeah, so actually I don't need to go here. So the database name that we chose was code demos underscore market 1, and the user was code demos underscore Brad, and the password was ABC123 exclamation. And that should be all we need to change, I believe. Yeah, so let's go ahead and save that. Actually, you should have made a copy of the one we just had with your local database parameters, but whatever, it's fine. So now I'm going to take my entire website here, and I'm going to select everything here, and I'm going to bring it into my public HTML folder. All right, now this is going to take quite a while to upload. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, and when it's done, I'll come back and we'll check it out. All right, guys, so everything has been uploaded, as you can see. So now if I go to codedemos.com, we're going to see our home page. Now, any link that I click, if I go to About Us, you'll see it's not going to work because of the domain. It goes back to market1.dev.cc. So one thing we can do is we can edit our config file to include the correct domain. So let's go back to that file, and we can add a couple lines. We'll just put it right here, and we'll say define, and we want to do WP underscore site URL, and then we want to add right here HTTP, and then let's do www.codedemos.com. Okay, and then what I'll do is copy that line down, and we just want to change this from WP site URL to WP home. So let's save that and let's see if that works. So we're going to have to just re-upload this one file. So let's go to FileZilla and let's grab the config, which is right here, and we'll bring that in. And we want to overwrite the current one. Okay, so let's reload this. And let's click About Us. All right, so now we get an error. You can see it's still code demos / about, but we get an error 404. We should at least be able to go to our admin. So let's go to admin, WP admin, and let's log in. I didn't show you, but before we wouldn't have even been able to go to the admin page. Now, once we're logged in, let's go to settings and let's see. So we have our WordPress address URL. Let's go to Permalinks, and we're just going to want to click Save Changes. All right, so now we're going to go back to the front end. Let's click About, and now it works. All right, so you just need to resave that Permalinks file in order for it to work. So we now have a deployed WordPress site. Whoops. Okay, so home doesn't work because when we created our link, let's go to menus, we actually hard-coded this right here. So we want to change this now back. We want to change it to codedemos.com. And I think we might have did that somewhere else too. I think it was in the theme. So if we go to theme, customize, and I think it was was it the header? Content. Yeah, right here. So we want this to go to codedemos.com. Okay. So you just want to kind of make sure that everything matches up with your actual domain. And there, I mean, there's easier ways to deploy. There's actually services that are built for deploying WordPress. There's plugins you can use. There's all types of stuff, but this is just the very basics. But we do have a deployed site. Now for the contact form, if you want this to work, you'll need to have an SMTP server, which we can actually set up. Well, actually is set up already on my host. So if I go to cPanel and go to email accounts, I have an account here, test@codedemos.com. So I'm going to say set up mail client. And then if we go down here, you'll see our SMTP settings. So this would be my SMTP server, and this would be the port. So if I go back to our back end, we don't want that. We want the code demos. I'm just going to close all this stuff up. So if we go to our code demos backend and our code demos domain and go to pirate forms and go to let's go to options, and we don't want this as the notification address. We want test@codedemos.com. And then the recipient, I want to be my tech guy info, which is kind of like my junk mail email address. You can also store them in the database, but let's save that, and then let's go to SMTP, and this is where we want to put our info. So we want to make sure that's checked yes. The host is going to be this here. So I'll grab that and put that right in there. The port is 465. I'm going to try it without authentication. And let's save changes. Okay, so now if we go to our front end, I'm just going to reload. And let's try to send an email. So I'll say John Doe. Hello, this is a test. So we'll send the message. Okay, thanks, your email was sent successfully. Now what I'm going to do is go off screen and I'm going to check my Gmail. All right, and there it is. I don't want to show my email my emails on video, so what I'm going to do is just have it come up from the bottom so you can see the very first one, which is right there. So John Doe, subject is hello, contact form submission from market 1. And then you'll see the name and the stuff that they entered. So the contact form is working. It's also not even going to the spam, which I kind of thought it would, but it didn't because we didn't use authentication or anything like that. But yeah, so I think that's it, guys. We now have a deployed WordPress website with a blog, with a contact form, with a theme. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully it wasn't too long. But if you look at it, we've created this website in a little over an hour and deployed it. So that's not too bad. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, and I will see you in the next video.